Another ACC team that is playing a out of conference game week 1 uh, is going to be the Virginia Tech Hokies. They are going to be playing the Vanderbilt Commodores. Not a lot of hype around Vanderbilt every year, kind of the bottom dog of the SEC. Hate to say it, but they're going to get a big opportunity in week 1 here with Virginia Tech.
Yeah, they'll get a really big opportunity. And, this is an SEC podcast. I can't help but be positive about Vanderbilt. I think they've made some bigger changes that could bode to new results, right? If something's not working, you change the coaches, you change the players. And they made a ton of moves, both in the coaching staff and the portal. On the offensive side, bringing in Tim Beck from New Mexico State, who has SEC winning experience, beating Auburn last year. They also brought in Diego Pavia at quarterback. They're going to bring kind of a quirky, run pass option offense from what I've heard and read. And so that could bode well for a team that finished about 109th in yards last year. I think per play or actually per pass attempt, if you will. And then on the defensive side, they have a, senior safety returning in CJ Taylor. He had a ton of, great stops. He led the team in tackles. And so it's really going to be key for them to improve the amount of yards per play they gave up. And Byron Drones is not going to make it easy for them, or Kyron Drones is not going to make it easy for them. And I'll let you kind of touch on the Virginia Tech opposition.
Yeah, no, it's good that you bring up the things about Vanderbilt because they do have that revamped offense. They're going with that New Mexico State offense. Probably the only reason that I wanted to see Nate Johnson get a nod there, but I think Diego Pavia is going to be the guy. He knows the offense. He knows what to do. You mentioned Kyron Drones. In this matchup, we have two quarterbacks who are great improvisers. They both can make things happen, extend plays out of the pocket, finding receivers on the run, hitting the ground on their own, and getting some rush yards. We saw it when Pavia played Auburn last year. Sorry to all the Tigers fans, but he has what it takes to play some big games, and it's going to come down to the supporting cast, right? Kyron Drones is an all-star already. People are looking at him. He's back of the pack, but who knows if he could become a dark horse Heisman favorite later in this year. But it's about the supporting cast. So with Virginia Tech, he has a couple more weapons to throw to. Pavia gets out of the pocket. He's going to be scrambling a little bit, looking for who to pass to. Virginia Tech has a lot of seniority in returning receivers. They also picked up Ollie Jennings from Old Dominion. So they have weapons for him to throw to. So that's going to be the biggest thing here is which quarterback can keep consistency. I think the game will be close early on. I think Vanderbilt's going to have some things up their sleeve, like you mentioned, a quirky offense. They're going to put some stuff together to stay. Will they be able to stay the distance through halftime and extend it into the game? I'm not sure.
Yeah, and like I said, it's really going to come down to how Vanderbilt comes out, and that sounds so cliche, like how they come out, like who scores more points by the end of the game is going to win, right? But when you think about Virginia Tech, they're playing for an ACC championship appearance. Not that Vanderbilt's not playing for that, but Virginia Tech made this leap last year from 2-10 to 7-6. They return, Biashal Tutin at running back as a junior. He was a North Carolina A&T transfer, so HBCU to Power 4 transfer. And he had about 863 yards and 10 touchdowns. So he's going to pair well with Kyron Drones, as you mentioned, who he didn't play the full season, but when he did come in, he had 15 tutties and 3 picks. So the expectations are warranted given those numbers and given that production. And I think they return, I want to say, the highest amount of players from the 22 offense and defense. That's a top 5 amount in the country. What does that all mean? I mean, there's a reason why we line the games up between the lines and play. But I think for Vanderbilt, it's a good opportunity to show what this new offense looks like. They have a lot of returning veterans on defense. And I think just new energy and new players could bode well for a good start. I ultimately have Virginia Tech winning 35-17, but this is a game worth watching. You may see Virginia Tech again in the playoffs. It will not be the last time you hear about them. And for Vanderbilt, they could show you something you've never seen. And anything's possible.
Yeah, it's tough to talk about prior struggles. Teams are new every year. We can only look at what we know with the players coming in. Vanderbilt had a tough third down defense last year. They let up a lot of conversions. If they can change that in this game, maybe get one of their linebackers, like Langston Patterson, to put some eyes on Kyron Drones when he tries to get out of there. Who knows what can happen? Things shake up. You build some momentum. Anything can go. Fun fact here before I make my pick: Virginia Tech is 0-5 against the spread on road openers in their last 5 games. But I don't care. They're covering here. Give me Virginia Tech 36-20.
Hammer it.
Yeah. I don't think it's free money, but we'll see. We'll see. It's not financial advice.
It should be a fun one regardless. Just excited to see games, excited to see the SEC, going toe to toe with other conferences, and a lot to look forward to. So, yeah.
Nope.